The following program was provided by an independent producer solely responsible for its content. The opinions expressed do not necessarily represent the views of this station, its staff, board of directors, or underwriters.
The Nashua Silver Knights have been a summer baseball team in Nashua, New Hampshire since 2010. They are a part of the Futures Collegiate Baseball League, a league designed for local college players to get the attention of Major League scouts and play amateur baseball all summer long. Hello and welcome to this week's edition of Nighttime, the official show of the Nashua Silver Knights. Today is a rainy Tuesday, July 7th. I'm your host, Zach Perry. For today's show, we'll have a recap of the Silver Knights through the first 24 games of the season, a checkup on the Futures Collegiate Baseball League standings, and as well as an interview with Manager Ted Currle, Director of Player Development BJ Neverett, and outfielder Tyler Schwanz. Let's get ready for the show. The last time we checked in on the Silver Knights, they were 8-6 and were leading the league in batting average. Since then, they have gone a lackluster 4-8 and are currently 4th in the Eastern Division of the Futures Collegiate Baseball League. The offense and run production has slowed down for the Knights. They have failed to score 2 or more runs in 5 of their last 9 games. But the Knights have added a top high school recruit who will attend Boston College next year, catcher Gian Martellini. What has proven to be the most difficult challenge for the Silver Knights is closing out games. More than half of their losses have come in the 7th inning or later, including back-to-back losses this past Saturday and Sunday against the Wachusett Dirt Dogs and the Pittsfield Suns. The Suns walked off with the win on the 4th of July in the 9th inning. Cam O'Neill hit a single to drive in Derek Bauer from third to tie the game off of Silver Knights lefty Cam LaFleur. Dan Palazzo advanced to second on the play, and the next batter, Josh Hassel, promptly singled him home for the winning run. There are still plenty of bright spots for the Silver Knights, however. Manny Cruz of Southern New Hampshire University and Max Bird of Northeastern University, 2 phenomenal infielders for the Silver Knights, are leading the team in batting average. Cruz is hitting .297 and Bird is batting .295. Tyler Schwanz, the Knights right fielder from University of Maine, has been consistently batting 3rd in the Nashua lineup. He leads the team in hits with 24, walks with 16, and is tied for the team lead in RBIs with 13 and games played, having started 23 of all 24 games, but he's played in all 24. He has shown some late-game heroics, including a game-tying home run in the 11th inning against the Martha's Vineyard Sharks on June 14th. Tyler Noe of UMass Lowell has not gotten a hit at home this season, but is batting a solid .333 in the team's 11 away games. Lucas Olin of Southern New Hampshire University and Brandon Walsh of UMass Amherst have not allowed a single run in Holman Stadium through their 7 appearances, a total of 23 innings between them. Olin's appearances have all been from the bullpen, while Walsh started 1 game and made 1 relief appearance. Bringing home runners in scoring position has been difficult for the Knights, as they are batting .235 with men on second or third as a team. However, outfielder Jimmy Hand from Northeastern University, catcher Eric Osberg from University of Hartford, and outfielder Ryan Sullivan from Bunker Hill Community College have been able to help the Silver Knights log a 91 RBIs. Hand is batting .417 with 8 RBIs, while teammate Osberg is hitting .333 with 8 RBIs with runners in scoring position, and Sullivan has 9 RBIs and 25 hits with runners on as well. With these 3 clutch hitters, maybe more games will break their way through the end of the season. And now we'll take a look at the Futures League standings. As you can see, the Nashua Silver Knights hold the 4th spot in the Eastern Division of the FCBL, below the Brockton Rocks, the Martha's Vineyard Sharks, and the North Shore Navigators, who are tied with the number 1 record between either the East or the West divisions. Nashua played North Shore 7 times through the first month of the season, but the Silver Knights couldn't seem to figure out the Navigators, as they lost 5 of these 7 games. Against the rest of the league, though, Nashua went a steady 9-6. They do not play North Shore again until August 4th at Frazier Field in Lynn, Massachusetts. Hopefully the Silver Knights can regroup against the rest of the division and prepare for a matchup against North Shore. For our first interview on this Tuesday afternoon, we have Coach Ted Currle, the manager of the Knights. Coach, how you doing?
Good, how are you?
Good. You've had a difficult last couple of games with the bullpen. They've totaled a 7.20 ERA in the last 2 games. How are you guys going to work to close out games later in the season?
Well, the first thing we've done is we've made a move and taken Brandon Walsh and made him our closer instead of a starting pitcher, and we're hoping that'll solidify the very back end of the bullpen. And we're going to hopefully use Lucas Olin in a 7th inning role, possibly 8th. We're hoping to get 8th inning out of Kevin Connor. And we also have moved Justin Snyder to the pen to hopefully bridge the gap between starter and closer. But that's definitely been an issue over the last couple weeks.
Who does that leave you with for starters?
It leaves us with Ryan Maloney, Clay Conway, Kevin McGee, Matt Messier is moving into a starting role, and who am I leaving out? Leaving someone out. I can't think.
Rob Del Signor.
Yeah, Rob Del Signor. And I think that should give us 5 or 6. But we'll see. We've still got a long way to go, 32 games, so we're not hitting the panic button just yet.
Sounds like a solid pitching staff. What is it like to have so many different capable infielders to choose from between your games?
It's a nice problem to have when you have kids that can glove it in the infield. And usually what we're going to do going forward is, as certain guys are hot at the plate, they're going to probably get more time. We did lose one to injury, so it makes it a little easier to spread out the playing time. But we've got 4 or 5 guys that are pretty capable of doing all 3 positions.
What goes into choosing day-to-day between your trio of catchers, first with Matt Foley, Matt Forden, and Eric Osberg, now with Gian Martellini subbing in for Matt Foley?
Usually we look at, because Eric's a left-handed hitter, we look at who's pitching, number one. If we're facing a big-time right-handed pitcher that is a better matchup for Eric Osberg, we're going to use him. Vice versa with the lefties. When we're facing a lefty like tonight, we're going to put Martellini out there and Fortin's DHing. So, all 3 of them will be involved tonight in the doubleheader. But usually it's, every other game, and then Fortin right now hasn't gotten as many at-bats, but, he played Sunday and did a nice job for us. So, it's pretty much rotation and catch by committee.
How does your experience coaching both at this level and the high school level help you with players that are making the transition right from their senior year, like Nick Angelini and Gian and Matt Messier?
Well, I think, for them to come play in a league like this is first off a great opportunity, and, they can be nervous early on before they get their feet wet. And hopefully having people like Paul, BJ, and myself who have coached at the high school level and at this level, help make it a little more comfortable for them. And once they're a few games in, it's just baseball. And, those 3 are doing a nice job for us right now.
What similarities and what differences do you see between your team last year and this year?
Well, the record was similar at this point, so that's why I don't hit the panic button yet. I think last year we were a lot better all year long late in games in the bullpen. I think this year we're better in a starting pitching role. Offensively, I think we're similar. I think we might have hit more home runs last year, but like I said, we have 32 games left, and we've got kids that are capable of swinging the bats. We just got to get hot. BJ always says any day could be the day you start getting hot. So
going into these last 32 games, what is it going to take from your team to get to the postseason and maybe even win an FCBL championship?
Well, I mean, not to be cliche, but we need good starting pitching. We need a much better bullpen, and we've got to start swinging the bats better. I think defensively, knock on wood, we're good enough to win a title, but we need to get timely hitting, and we need to get people out. And, we just got to get hot, and we're going to do that starting today.
Well, good luck today on this rainy afternoon. For our next interview, we have the Director of Player Development, BJ Neverett. BJ, how are you doing today?
Good, thanks. How are you?
I'm good.
Good.
How many years have you been the Director of Player Development here in Nashville?
Well, I came in when the league started, so I was year 5 for me. So it's a lot different than it was the first year, for sure. The league has grown to be a little more popular with the college coaches. Every year it gets better and better, and it's easier and easier to find real good talented players. So it's grown quite a bit in 4 years, 5 years time.
What other jobs have you had in baseball previous to this?
I coached high school baseball here in Nashville for total JV and varsity coach for 26 years. I did spend some time in the summertime with the National Pride here and there, throwing batting practice and things like that, being around when they were at home. I didn't never travel with them. Back in '97, I think it was, I spent a little time with the Nashville Hawks. That was a team that didn't finish the season because they weren't paying their bills and they got locked out of the stadium. But I've been around a little bit of that stuff, and but the high school, you know, was the majority of the time. It was the varsity coach for 17 of those 26 years.
So give us an idea of what your preseason's like, piecing this team together with colleges from around the nation.
Well, for me, it starts the end of August. When they get back to school, they're starting fall ball, and that's when their coaches are starting to think about placing guys. And it really gets going late September into October. And that's when it really gets real hot. That's when the coaches are calling. That's when you know, they're trying to place their guys. And then as we get through into the winter time and kids go back to school in January, it's amazing how many emails I get from kids that didn't get placed by their coach, or maybe their coach doesn't do any of that stuff and they're on their own. It's amazing how many emails, you know, 3, 4, or 5 a day on average, I'll get from kids from all over the country. Unfortunately, one of the things in Nashville is that we struggle with host family situations. I wish we had more opportunities to bring in some kids who live further away, and that does hamper some of the decisions we make during the off season. That's the number one obstacle. Getting good players is not something we can't do. It's just sometimes we have to pass on some guys because we just don't have a bed for them. So that's one of the things that we're really got to work on here. We're going to try to improve.
Now, do you mostly seek out other players, or do most of the coaches send you information coming to look to hear to play Nashville?
Well, some guys I seek out because I saw them play this past spring, and then next year I'm going after them for next year's team because I've seen them and I've actually followed them wherever they played this summer. So I'm constantly looking at the websites. I'm constantly looking at guys that I have lists of for next year and who we were interested in. That never stops really, but the player procurement happens mostly in the fall. And then the month of May is a key month because if coaches are going to shut pitchers down, they usually let you know then. And that's usually a scary month for us.
Yeah. What do you think of the Silver Knights through the first 24 games, good and bad?
Well, I think the good thing is we got a great group of guys. We got off to a real good start offensively. Defensively, I like the way we play defensively. We look pretty good defensively, but we've hit a little bit of a rut here offensively. I'm a little, worried about that. I'm hoping that, we will get hot soon. The pitching has been what it is. In our last 3 games, we only scored 5 runs, so we can talk about blowing a lead here or there or not, but we only scored 5 runs in the last 3 games, and that's not helping our pitching either. So, I mean, there's 3 phases of the game: the offense, defense, and then the pitching. We haven't put it all together yet. Hopefully, in the next week or 2, it'll really start to come together.
And lastly, what is it going to take for you guys to get to the FCBL playoffs and possibly even win a championship?
We got to get more consistent. We can't have the peaks and valleys that we're having right now. We have to be consistent. We got to know we're going to go out and beat somebody every night. And our pitchers, have to pick it up. The guys that haven't quite hit it yet, they've got to pick it up. Fortunately, I think our starting rotation is going to give us a chance. But we're still looking for help. That never stops during the season either. So we'll continue to try to improve the team if we can. But we need to find consistency in our play.
Well, sounds good. Good luck out there.
Thank you very much.
For our final interview today, we have outfielder from University of Maine, Tyler Schwanz. Tyler, how are you doing today?
Good, how are you?
I'm good. So what were your expectations coming into this season for yourself?
My expectations for the season were to just come in and get some at-bats under my belt and see how I do against pitching again because I was redshirted. So.
Well, I'd say you're doing pretty well so far. What were some of your expectations for the Silver Knights this year?
I knew we were a young team, so I didn't know how we were going to do. And I knew we had a lot of D1 athletes and some higher D2 athletes. So I thought we were going to be pretty good.
Had you heard of any of your teammates besides other players from University of Maine before this summer?
Well, I had a lot of time on my hands because I was redshirted, but I looked some of the kids up, saw how they're doing, and kind of followed them as they were going, but I didn't really know anyone.
Do you play against these guys? Anybody in the league before today? Or before this summer?
We played Hartford, UMass Lowell, I think a couple other ones.
So you've definitely seen some of these guys before, yeah. How have you and the other players come together as a team? How have you guys gelled?
I think we go pretty good together. Our infield clicked right away. We all knew what they were going to be like, and I think the lineup was pretty set well on like who was going to be there, and I think we all are positioned pretty good.
So what was the transition like coming from your redshirt season to summer ball?
It was actually pretty tough because you're used to coming in with a couple at-bats under your belt, and I had to start from scratch, and I thought it was a little bit tougher from my previous seasons.
Mm-hmm. So without getting in too much trouble, what's it like playing for Coach Currle?
It's good. He positions us really good. He's a good coach. He usually knows what to say when we're down in tough counts and down under scores and stuff.
So in one of your most exciting hits of the summer, in the 11th inning against Martha's Vineyard, what was going through your mind when that game was tied 2-2 and you hit the home run?
I was thinking see a pitch, see what he has to offer, and then he got down 2-0, and I knew he was going to bring fastball, so I decided to just swing as hard as possible.
Nice. Is there anything like the Futures League out in Michigan where you're from?
There's the Great Lakes League, which is right around my area and stuff, but I don't think anything close to this is.
All right. Well, thank you very much for your time. Good luck out there.
Thank you.
The preceding program was provided by an independent producer solely responsible for its content. The opinions expressed do not necessarily represent the views of this station, its staff, board of directors, or underwriters.